So queer news tonight. Would you still display the rainbow? In Russia, 3 people face charges displaying rainbow symbols in public after the country's Supreme Court deemed international public LGBT movement an extremist organization. Last November, these are the first convictions that unfortunate ruling. On Monday, the artist Mosina received a $16 fine for Instagram posts with rainbow flags, despite the postings were there before the ruling took effect. Last week, a man in Volgograd was fined $11 for posting an LGBTQ plus flag photo. The third incident, Anastasia Yershova was jailed for 5 days after a man in a cafe asked her to remove rainbow-colored frog earrings and a Ukrainian flag pin. The interaction was posted on social media, reacted to Male State, a radical hate group. Her arrest occupied only after the video was circulated. Yershova's lawyer said that the court didn't even specify what names were of the extreme organizations she displayed. In all the process of court rulings, an artist, Anastasia's frog-shaped earrings were also examined as they were displayed 7 colors of the rainbow. Aegis, an LGBTQ plus rights activist group, noted the earrings had 7 stripes, unlike the 6 on the LGBTQ plus flag, suggesting they may not have been intended as an LGBTQ plus symbol. Amidst an ongoing lunacy in the country, where queer communities ever feel safe?
What do you think, Will?
You know, I feel wherever I am in my country, I feel safe, but I'm always checking my surroundings no matter who I am, if I'm gay, straight, anything else in between. You have to protect yourself and always be aware, but I do feel safe in my country, and I make sure that people I'm with feel safe. And especially with the Bears of South Florida, we get that protective community that we accept and honor everybody. And I know I'm plugging the Bears again, but we have that acceptance of who we are, and you know, you need to be safe, and this is a safe space, and body positivity and everything else that comes in between.
Right.
Trust. Whenever I go to a Bear event, I feel safe as hell. Trust. Okay? Just know that. Glenn, what were you going to say?
I think it's an interesting, I said, would you still fly the flag? If I was in Russia, no. Because you're pointing yourself out in a country that does not accept you on so many levels. That, like, as much as we want to stand out and be proud, we have the security at the moment of the U.S. Constitution and the American flag that, you know, despite we discriminate against so many people, I still feel like we can find our communities. I don't know what it would be like to live in Russia where you go to court, and I mean, how bad are things there that it's $16 is a major fine, or $11? I mean, like, 2 coffees today cost me more than that.
Easy.
So, you know, you look at the economic differences and stuff like that, and it's scary that what's happening in places like Russia or in China and others where they've made some progress, but there's so far to go. And you say to yourself, would you speak up? Like, you know, at what point do you say it's too dangerous?
Yeah. No, because part of me, like, initially when I read the story, I was like, $16, $11, find me, mofos.
Right.
I'm a raise my flag everywhere, right? But then the more that I, thought about it, when I marinated with it, okay, it's dangerous, right? And again, you're putting a target on your back, and you'll end up in jail for 5 days, So I've had an HOA. Have you guys had an HOA?
Oh, yeah.
This is not like that. You end up in jail for 5 days in a Russian jail,
Yes.
But we don't own the rainbow. LGBTQ plus people do not own the rainbow. This poor woman has frog earrings or whatever the hell she had on, and because they were multicolored, she almost got a fine because of it, I mean, that's a little crazy. Jeff, what do you think?
I mean, I think the question we have to ask ourselves or ask our local community is, they're trying to pass this law here in Florida that we won't be able to raise pride flags on government buildings. Right. We talked about it. We raised the pride flag at Hollywood Pride. We mentioned it. The mayor was there. It's a public park, so it's a government, land. And that could be something that we will not be able to do. So will our local leaders, will they fight back against this? I think it's a question we need to keep pushing that agenda, because, this is in communist Russia that's happening, but this is happening in democratic, country here in Florida, that we can't raise flags to observe events like Pride. And I just, want to point out, because I think we need to keep bringing it up, and all of us need to be talking about it, because I don't believe it affects any of us here at the table, but we're also stripping rights away from our transgender brothers and sisters by not allowing them to have a driver's license and the identity exactly. So we need to keep bringing it up. We please write letters to your Congress people. I mean, all the Florida Dems actually today, I believe, signed something about it. So again, it's a little off topic, but I don't think we can talk about it enough because I spoke about it with someone yesterday, and it's very frightening to our trans brothers and sisters.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Trini?
I wrestled with this topic like for the past few weeks because I was looking at the people in Russia from before, the ones who are fighting for the LGBT rights and also against Ukraine. And I don't know, I just have the utmost respect for them. And as much as I want to say that I would do that, I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't because there's that part of me that says live to fight another day. And these people, but I'm so glad for these people, like respecting them for sacrificing themselves because they know that they're going to get prosecuted and they're just trying to sacrifice themselves to help the movement for the other people who are not doing it to work behind the scenes. And also, so many of the people who are actually speaking out are women, which is like
wow, good
really interesting to me. And not just there, but in our own country, when it comes to the MAGA world and the Republicans, it's the women that are leading these movements and are showing the most bravery. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to all the women out there for being so much braver than the men in most of their countries. And like, keep fighting and, we'll all do our part as much as we can.
Yeah.